Gordon.
Good. We'll just cut the front of that out. All right. Hey, what's up, guys? As much as I hate doing these, Brett for Performance, yes, I'm this fat in real life, and I have Michael Landon hair. I don't get out much, but it is what it is. Oh, and I'm wearing a t-shirt that fits me. So, you know, that's cool. Anyway, we get asked every day, what comes in your cam kits? As most of you know, we're the first ones to go 9s with a cam. That was head cam sometime back in 2017, whatever. As far as I know, still the only 2 6-gens to go cam only with our Stage 3 NA cam kit that have been in the 9s. No head work, any of that stuff. Regardless, you know, we've been at, obviously we don't design lobes, right? So our lobes come through Texas Speed. We've used other manufacturers in the past, no issues with those either. And we can, if you're specific to lobes per se, we can get you different camshafts from different manufacturers with our specs on it. So what I do want to discuss though is when you get an email back, it'll say basic cam kit or deluxe. I want to talk over the differences between those two. Now, if you're like a boosted guy, FI, LT4, whatever, a lot of it's based off of the cylinder heads, the chip seats we've seen with LTs, things like that stuff, lessons we've learned over the years with those. So we'll get into the kind of the higher end, higher RPM stuff. But for LT4 heads, we have not had to replace seats in an LT4 head. I don't know if that's an RPM thing or what. So we don't really lean towards that. We'll do guides if need be, seats if need be. All of our LT1 stuff, we normally press seats and guides. And we'll talk over that in a different segment on the cylinder heads. So, but like I said, I want to talk over every piece that comes in our cam kit right now. So the basic cam kit, whether it be boosted or NA, you're going to get head gaskets, which are the stock GMs. For NA, you get the standard red stuff. For LT4 or any boosted LT1 that we're not going big cubes, as long as it fits under the 4080 or the 4100 bore space, you're just going to get the black LT4 gaskets. Then you have the camshaft itself. We can do 3-bolt, we can do single bolt for LME, and we can do single bolt standard. I know a lot of guys are wanting to go get away from the phaser limiter. We've only done a few. I'm not against it, just haven't seen a real reason to do it. So you're always going to get an LS3 front seal and a 0-degree phaser block. Now, if we're doing a grudge deal, I have to modify the 4-degree phaser block. So it won't just be plug and play. If it's an order item, we'll have to send it to you once I modify it. I've got my own retard that we put into the camshafts that the cams need to retard with the stock VVT system. And I have to modify the block. But don't get confused when your kit shows up and you have the regular comp phaser limiter tool. I guess that's the best way to say it. This has a 25-degree block. This will definitely ensure piston to valve contact. Do not use the small block in here. It's right there. I doubt you can see it, but you will receive the comp kit there, and you'll get the 0-degree phaser limiter. Please use the 0-degree. You'll get 3/8 push rods, pack 16 of those, and we only run Johnson lifters. I'm not saying any of the other lifters are bad. We just started seeing different failure rates, and that goes across the board. Even stock lifters fail, which are technically LS7s now. You've got the Delphis, the Caddies. There's a bunch of other ones. If you want to source your own lifters, that's on you. We only run the Johnsons. Yes, they're more expensive, but we've had a higher success rate with them with all the stuff that we sell. Now, onto the springs. So in your basic cam kit, you're going to get a standard 700 lift. You know, they say 660, but for the LT stuff, because of the 1900 install height, it's higher. You'll get a dual valve spring. You can upgrade this dual valve spring to like a 1209X, which is probably what we're going to go to completely very soon. You'll get stock head bolts. We've moved on to only running the CHEs, the Chi trunnions. For 20 years, we ran other trunnion upgrades, and everything was fine till COVID, as we all know. I don't know where these kits are being made now. In my opinion, they're hot trash. I'll probably never put another needle bearing trunnion upgrade in anything ever again. Yes, they're more expensive, but the quality is there. They don't break. You don't have to worry about needle bearings in your motor. You'll get brand new LS2, LS3 lifter trays, the brand new GM bolt, your crank bolt. Mind you, if we sell you an LT crank bolt and you're running an ATI dampener, you're going to have to grind this down to fit. The ATI is designed around the LS because basically the ATIs are a slightly modded, if modded, LS7 version that they carried over to the LT since the LT crank snout is longer. Then you get your DOD block-off plugs. We understand that guys now want to run the front covers, the DOD delete stuff, putting over. Also, mid-year 21, I believe, is when GM, for sure in the trucks, and I think actually earlier in the trucks, maybe even 2019, they started changing the cam phaser bolt, the limiter, and the way that they made the cam phaser itself. As far as I'm tracking, you have to utilize the standard tool, and it's a little bit sketchy, I'm not going to lie. But we need you to delineate what year your vehicle is when you call us for a cam kit, please. It's imperative because you have to have the right cam bolt, phaser, and block off plugs or seal if you're not going to run, some kind of plate system or whatever up there. All right. So like I said, and you get exhaust gaskets. So this is as complete as we could come up with. So when we say that you're getting a 100% complete, ready to install cam kit, that's what we mean. I don't believe we left any stones unturned, anything like that. So I know a lot of places, we got a cam kit for $800 and it's like the camshaft and two things. Then you find out when you go to check out, by the way, you need to order blah, blah, blah. And you have all these drop down menus. We did away with that. It's all one package. Now let's talk about our suggested upgrades, stuff like that. Now, when you order a deluxe, you're going to get, basically, we've been running these comp 7230 conical valve springs. Good luck with them. But like I said, we're starting to track some quality deficiencies per se. I don't know the best way to say that. And you also have to check these more frequently. That's another thing. 10 to 20,000 miles, somewhere around 10,000 miles ish. Pull your valve springs off, check them, at least a few. I'm not going to determine an interval of when you need to change them, but there's some good practices. Please keep up with that. So if you're like, hey, I got 50,000 miles on my cam kit, that's great. I mean, we have some guys that have had cams in their cars for 250,000 miles now and everything's fine, but they're doing the maintenance. They're checking their valve springs. They're replacing them in, regular intervals. Obviously, the harder you are, the more you rev your valves, all that other stuff, the more frequent you're going to have to change your valve springs. So just be cognizant that this stuff does not last forever. It has to be maintained and things need to be checked and all that other stuff. It's not just a plug and play and you're good forever. Then it's not factory equipment. It's kind of the big deal there. Now, when you order the deluxe, you'll have the option for Cometics if you're NA. We have honestly not found a better gasket than the stock LT4 for boost, unless you're going to fuel hoop, copper gaskets, all that stuff. Or if you're just out of bore size. So 4080 is the max bore size, I believe, on the stock gaskets. If you're going to go to like a 4125, something like that, then yes, we have to do the Cometics. It just is what it is at that point. So anyway, for the NA stuff, so we can get to like a 40,000s. We don't run tighter than 40,000s gaskets. The reason being, they say proper quench is somewhere around 30,000s, 31,000s for max quench. A lot of the pistons, especially on a built motor, when you're talking about piston rock on a zero deck, it's going to get up there. It depends on the build and where the deck height was set and all that other stuff. But there's definitely some over 10,000s, 10, 15, whatever thousands on piston rock with the piston wall clearance that the piston manufacturers require. So, and sometimes as those sleeves start to fold on the piston, which can eventually happen, that tip grows. So you have a high side, on the thrust as the engine rotates. So it'll end up covering that 40 thousandths distance on one side and on the other, hitting the cylinder heads. And you're minimizing the best quench, as they say. So we stick to 40 thousandths, the most that we, the thinnest gaskets that we go with. That's obviously to help maximize compression. Then, like I said, we talked about the 7230 springs. That obviously comes with the proper components to run those. Also, you have the ARP head stud upgrade that you can do. The LME dog bone tensioner. I believe Texas Speed just came out with one that is all Viton or whatever this black plastic material is. And we could change the chains. We highly, 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 highly suggest you guys do this with all your cam kits. We have seen nothing but failures now with the stock tensioner system on the LTs, especially once they're cammed, especially once they're spun up. Once that RPM goes, you know, especially on and off, changing gears, stick shifts, you know, hitting the limiter, all that, we have seen multiple failures. Almost every single one we take apart now. The stock tensioner has failed. Either the black plastic piece, I'm going to do it backwards for the camera, has a, I don't know what you call it, like a blade flex, like a leaf spring. That will end up coming out the top, and then that flattens out, takes all the tension out of your chain. So, or we've seen this side of the tensioner actually come off and get passed through, skip a chain, then you end up pissing the valve issues. So for right now, oh, excuse me, and then the K-Tech billet oil pump. We run these as much as we can. We have seen in the shop probably, I don't know, 10 or 15 actual broken stock oil pumps. So whenever we can, we suggest. We try not to press you guys. We understand budgets and we understand all that stuff. So like I said, for I think it's $2,650 roughly, you get this package. Then the price goes up, obviously, as the springs get more expensive or go into a dual 1209X, which I believe is just where we're going to go. We don't spin our stuff to 8,000. We've never seen an issue or a reason why to. We go just as fast without doing that. So usually 72, 75 is about it. So, you know, then you have like your 90% stuff, which 90% of you guys are going to do, you know, you just enjoy it. It's power. You get it on every now and then. You have those, you know, 9, 10% that they never fire the car up unless they're going to go wide open, which is cool. We're all about that too. So anyway, just want to give you guys a quick overview. This is everything that comes in your cam kit. These are the upgrades. So when you're hitting us up, know that this is everything you're getting. It's 100% complete. All right. Well, hope you guys found this educational, at least for the way we do things. So yeah, I'll try to do another video soon discussing cylinder heads and why and what we do with those.